Hey, welcome. So today we are diving into one of the biggest challenges in cybersecurity right now, just the sheer amount of information. Every single second, our digital lives create this deafening roar of data. So how in the world do you find the tiny whisper of a real threat inside that storm? That's exactly what we're going to break down.
And just to give you a sense of scale here, think about a single app on your phone, any app. Behind the scenes, it could be spinning out 50,000 log entries every single hour. Now imagine that, but for every single app, every server, every laptop, every employee in a huge company. We're talking about a fire hose of data that's just completely impossible for a human to keep track of.
And that's the big question, right? When you're swimming in literally billions of different events, how on earth do you spot the one or two that signal a really sophisticated cyber attack? It's the ultimate needle in a haystack problem.
To even begin to solve this, you have to appreciate the scale of what we're up against. A lot of folks in the security world call it a data tsunami.
Think about it. Every time you log into something, every time a firewall blocks a sketchy connection, or a server just does its job, it creates a little digital breadcrumb called a log. You've got data flowing in from firewalls, from servers, from all your applications. Each one is a tiny piece of a massive puzzle. But if you can't put those pieces together, it's all just noise. And spotting a coordinated attack, forget about it.
So how do we turn all of that noise into a clear signal? Well, let's bring in the hero of our story, a kind of digital detective we call a SIEM.
Okay, so what is a SIEM officially? The National Institute of Standards and Technology, that's NIST, gives us a great definition. It's an application that basically pulls in security data from everywhere, mashes it all together, and serves it up as something you can actually act on. You can think of it as the central nervous system for a security team.
Now, to really get what a SIEM is, it helps to know where it came from. It's actually a mashup of two older ideas. On one side, you had Security Information Management, or a SIM. That was all about collecting and storing data for long-term analysis, kind of like a historian. On the other side, you had Security Event Management, or SEM, which was all about watching events happen in real time and sounding the alarm, more like a security guard. So what did we do? We put them together. A SIEM takes the deep, historical perspective of SIM and combines it with the up-to-the-second awareness of SEM. You get the best of both worlds. You can look back in time and see what's happening right now.
And when you bring those two things together, you get something way more powerful than just a pile of data. You get what's called situational awareness.
This idea actually comes from high-stakes fields like fighter piloting. A researcher named Micah Ensley defined it perfectly. She said it's about three things. First, perceiving what's happening. Second, understanding what it actually means. And third, predicting what's probably going to happen next.
And a SIEM is built to do exactly that, step by step. Level 1 is perception, just gathering all that raw data, basically asking, what is happening? Level 2 is comprehension, analyzing all that data and connecting the dots. It's asking, okay, why is this happening? And finally, level 3 is projection, using what it knows to predict the future. This is the real magic, asking what's going to happen next and letting you get ahead of the bad guys.
Okay, so we know what a SIEM does, but how does it actually think? What's really going on under the hood? Yeah, a SIEM is juggling a bunch of jobs all at once. It all starts with aggregation, just sucking in data from everywhere. Then, log management. It's got to translate all those different data formats into one common language so it can compare them. From there, it moves to analysis, using fancy rules and even AI to find suspicious patterns. And all the while, it's doing real-time monitoring and showing everything on a nice, easy-to-read dashboard.
Now, how does it get all that data in the first place? Well, there are two main ways. In a push setup, your devices, like your firewall, actively send their logs to the SIEM. In a pull setup, the SIEM reaches out and basically asks for the logs from those devices. In reality, most systems use a mix of both.
So what happens when a SIEM actually spots something bad? Well, it can help kick off a response. A proactive response is all about prevention, acting on an early warning before an attack has even happened, like blocking a known malicious IP address. A reactive response is about damage control. It kicks in after an attack is confirmed to try and stop the bleeding as fast as possible.
So yeah, it's pretty clear a SIEM is an unbelievably powerful piece of technology. It brings order to complete chaos, it gives you visibility where you had none, and it helps you respond way faster.
But a tool is only as good as the person using it. So who are the experts that are actually at the controls of these incredibly complex systems?
And that brings us to the human side of the equation,
the team inside the Security Operations Center, or what everyone calls the SOC.
The SOC is basically the command center for all things cybersecurity. And it's not just a dark room with a bunch of glowing screens, okay? It's a dedicated team of highly skilled people, analysts, engineers, and threat hunters all working together. If the SIEM is the advanced cockpit of a fighter jet, the SOC team, they're the pilots.
And this team usually has a tiered structure. You've got your level 1 analysts on the front lines, sifting through the thousands of alerts the SIEM kicks out every day. When they find something really serious, they escalate it to level 2. These are the folks who do the deep dive investigations and manage the response for attacks we've seen before. And then at the very top, you have the level 3 experts. These are the elite threat hunters, proactively searching for the sneakiest, most advanced threats that even the automated systems might miss.
So all of this leaves us with a really interesting question. On one side, we had this incredible AI-powered technology in a SIEM that can process data on a scale no human ever could. And on the other side, we have the brilliant, creative, intuitive minds of the SOC analysts. As the bad guys get smarter and their attacks get harder to spot, what's going to be more important for our defense? The raw power of the machine or the gut instinct of the human expert? Finding that perfect balance, that's probably the single biggest challenge for the future of cybersecurity.